You know, one of the reasons why I was vaccinated against COVID. You know, we've seen COVID now in our community for some time now, and it's one of those things that I really wanted to protect my community. I've got a cultural obligation to do that as part of as part of our traditions. Is that we've got a cultural obligation to look after our community members and our elders. So that's really why I was vaccinated against COVID. You know, what would you sort of say to other younger people in the community about getting vaccinated? Have you thought about those discussions that you would have?
For me it was just the bottom line was my family, and that was the most important thing. I needed to see my granddad, I needed to see my great aunties, and their safety was more important than the information I'd gathered, or just second-hand information that I'd heard of. That was just way more important.
I think with the younger generations as well, we tend to have this like carelessness rather than the elder generation who think about their health a little bit more. But it is a serious thing, and yeah, you need to go get your vaccination done. Yeah.
And I think for us as Aboriginal people, we've lived here for 60,000 years plus. You know, we've got a strong culture, we've got a really strong foundation, and I think for that foundation to keep moving forward for another 60,000 years, we have to get these vaccinations. I think it's really that it's really important that this opportunity of us getting vaccinated now, so that we can live, transfer our knowledge and our culture to our younger generation, is really important. And I think we've got a cultural obligation to do that as young people. So.
I think those words that you just said then, cultural obligation, like I haven't actually heard someone put it that way, but it really makes sense, like saying, like you've got a cultural obligation here. And I think it's okay to say that because we actually do. Like, we're the caretakers of this land. We do have a cultural obligation, so this is part of what we've got to do in this modern society if we want to keep moving forward and we want to keep transferring that knowledge.
And we're still working on closing the gap.
Yeah, that's it. I just think there needs to be a lot of cultural safety put in place when delivering any type of immunisation.
So if you are considering not getting the vaccination, just remember what you're giving up in terms of connection with people, your family, your community, especially culturally, for us Indigenous mob, that we need and we crave, and it's embedded in us that we have those connections. So just maybe understand that if you're choosing not to, that's what you're giving up.
I'd like to see it, another 65,000 years, but you just got to go out and do it. Get the injection.